How do you feel about elephant or rhino on the menu? Well, concerns are high over the proposed amendment of the Meat Safety Act to allow for the inclusion of endangered wildlife species. The Department of Agriculture says the proposal is to allow for regulators to control how animals are slaughtered. The public has until today to comment on the issue. For reaction, Marietta Panameva from the Tswana Meat Forum joins me on Skype from Pretoria. Very good morning to you. Talk us through what's been proposed here.
Good morning to you. In terms of what happened in the past couple of years, game meat was utilized in many and various ways. To date, we didn't have any control or management in terms of the safe provision of this unique, and can I be blasé enough to say it's the best protein nutrition that you can actually consume, especially in a time of the pandemic where immunity is definitely your best way to make sure that you do survive and that you do counter the infection. The Minister of Agriculture, Minister Didiza, has promulgated 33 other game meat species to become part of the Game Meat Act, so that we have the better control and management over this as well. Threatened species was regulated, was slaughtered, was made part of the protein chain for many years. It was in a controlled manner, but the exception was we didn't have the opportunity to control the meat safety aspect per se. So that has changed, and for all practical reasons, it's giving us that opportunity to ensure that if that meat enters the meat chain or the provision of protein in South Africa, that it is in a safe and a hygienic manner.
Okay, but I know, let me jump in here. I mean, I know many farmers are on both sides, you know, for cows and sheep and wildlife as well, are concerned about the crossover of disease. I mean, you'd think that we learnt a lot from China, but clearly we haven't. So how are we going to prevent that from swapping over in the abattoirs? You say that this will give us better focus, but who's going to implement that type of security?
The moment it's part of the Meat Safety Act, all of those animals will be subjected, after hunting, they will be subjected to meat inspection, which will rule out that transfer of diseases. The reality is, in terms of the hunting and the certification of farms, that there is a process that we follow to make sure that we only hunt on farms that's certified disease-free. Now, there's two different ways of obtaining carcass, and although all of it is actually hunting, because that's the process you've got to follow, we also do culling, and culling is in terms of when the numbers of the game animals is exceeding the grazing on that specific area or farm. There's other reasons for culling as well. But the process in terms of obtaining means that the farm itself must be disease-free. There is a process of meat inspection after the hunting, and then it's approved for safe consumption.
All right, sorry, Marietta, sorry, can I just jump in here? I mean, obviously that safety is a major issue. The other one, you know, looking at those beautiful pictures of elephants and rhino, and the fact that they are going to be put on, or they are on this new list. Why do we have to eat them?
I think just for practical reasons, if you consider the fact that already we have in the Kruger Park so many elephants that it's absolutely destroying the area and the veld, this is a similar situation will involve of a lot of our game farms, and it currently is the case. It's not as if we can have more and more and more animals and we can never control the numbers. We need to have a conservation viewpoint or a starting point in terms of the number of animals that we have. So there is a controlled process now available that we can utilize these animals in a controlled manner, and not just to say that we're now eating all the elephants that there is in South Africa.
Sorry, it makes me really concerned, because we know what's going on in this country, and it concerns me how we are going to control it, and the fact that this is sort of creating some sort of excitement in some areas to be eating animals like that, which we shouldn't be eating.
In terms of what's happening in South Africa, your statement is based basically on it's a beautiful animal to look at, but nothing related to food security and to conservation per se.
All right, Aneta van der Merwe, let's leave it there. And I believe that the public has until today to comment on this measure going forward.